Chosen one. There are people around you right now who see you in ways so completely opposite that it's almost impossible they're talking about the same person. One thinks you're a manipulative thief while the other sees you as a wise healer, and the supernatural timing of when these two forces entered your life reveals a cosmic battle that's been raging around you with the intensity of vampire bats versus divine protection, where everything you've been confused about lately suddenly makes perfect sense because the toxic person has been projecting their own darkness onto you, while your defender arrived with divine timing to help you remember who you really are. They came into your life like a master manipulator, wearing a mask of charm. They presented themselves as helpful, understanding, maybe even a little vulnerable, exactly the type of person your generous heart would naturally want to support. During this honeymoon phase, they were conducting psychological reconnaissance on you. The deception was so sophisticated that you probably found their initial attention flattering. They had a way of making you feel seen, understood, appreciated in ways that felt almost too good to be true. And that's because it was too good to be true. They were love-bombing you, creating an artificial sense of connection that would later be weaponized against you. Then came their slow, methodical campaign of destruction against you. They started spreading negative opinions about you, possibly very publicly, turning your reputation into their personal playground. The most diabolical part of their strategy was how they made other people complicit in their campaign against you, without those people even realizing it. This toxic person operates with the energy of a coward, who stirs up maximum chaos around you, and then runs away when consequences appear. Something remarkable was happening while this toxic campaign was unfolding against you. Just when their attacks were becoming unbearable, just when you were starting to question everything about yourself, a defender began emerging in your life. Your defender operates with the energy of someone creating a scarecrow, strategically positioning themselves to scare away the dark forces that have been attacking you. They recognized the vampire-like energy immediately and began creating protective barriers around you, sometimes in ways so subtle you might not have even noticed at first. The scarecrow energy isn't passive protection, it's active, intentional defense designed to send a clear message to the toxic forces. You are not alone, you are not unprotected, and there will be consequences for anyone who continues to attack what they hold sacred. The timing of their appearance reveals something profound about how the universe responds when one of its chosen ones is under siege. Your defender began rebuilding everything they tried to destroy, creating stability where there had been chaos, offering truth where there had been lies, providing genuine care where there had been manipulation. They didn't just offer you empty words of support, they took concrete actions to help you regain your footing and remember your own power. What you're experiencing isn't just interpersonal drama, it's full-scale spiritual warfare between consciousness and unconsciousness, wisdom and immaturity, light and darkness. They represent everything unconscious and destructive, while your defender represents wisdom, consciousness, and protective love. This is competition on a cosmic level around you. The five forces of conflict are all present, their campaign against you, your defender's protection of you, your own internal battle to remember your truth, the battle for the minds of others who have heard the lies about you, and the larger battle between light and dark energies that's happening everywhere right now. Their unconsciousness manifests in their complete inability to take responsibility for their actions toward you. They live in a fantasy world where they're always the victim, always the misunderstood hero, always the one who deserves better treatment from an unfair world. They genuinely believe their own lies because the alternative, facing their own darkness, is too terrifying for them to contemplate. Your defender operates from a completely different level of consciousness. They can see the bigger picture, understand the karmic implications of what's happening to you, and recognize that you're going through a death and rebirth process that will ultimately transform you into someone more powerful than you've ever been. Their most devastating weapon has been projection, taking everything they are and convincing others that you are these things instead. They accuse you of being a thief while stealing from you. They claim you're manipulative while manipulating everyone around them. They paint you as selfish while serving only their own interests. This projection isn't random or accidental. It's a calculated defense mechanism designed to protect their carefully constructed false image while destroying your authentic reputation. They know that the best defense is a good offense, so they attack your character before anyone can question theirs. They make you the scapegoat for everything wrong in any situation they're involved in. The most insidious part is how they've tried to steal your very identity. They want to make out that they are like you, trying to totally twist the narrative so that your positive qualities become associated with them, while your reputation becomes associated with their toxic behaviors. It's identity theft on a spiritual level. The money component of their attack reveals the calculated nature of their entire campaign against you. They've been stealing not just your financial resources, but your creative ideas, your energy, your time, your peace of mind. They positioned themselves so that you became like a servant, always giving, always working, always trying to prove your worth, while they extracted everything valuable from your life. They created elaborate justifications for why you owed them your resources. They manufactured emergencies that only you could solve. They used guilt and obligation to keep you trapped in cycles of giving, while they took everything and contributed nothing. They made you feel responsible for their financial problems while simultaneously bleeding you dry. The financial abuse extends beyond money into every valuable resource you possess. They've stolen your creative ideas and presented them as their own innovations. They've extracted your wisdom and insights, then claimed credit for the breakthroughs. They've monopolized your time and energy, leaving you depleted while they appeared energized and successful. Your defender sees this financial abuse clearly and recognizes it as a pattern that extends far beyond your situation. They understand that financial vampirism is a common tactic of unconscious people who can't generate their own abundance, so they attach themselves to those who can and extract everything possible. They thrive on the power of passing on private information about you, twisting it as they go, betraying your confidences while positioning themselves as trustworthy. They've turned your vulnerabilities into weapons, your secrets into ammunition, your private struggles into public entertainment. They've created a network of gossip that extends far beyond their direct relationship with you. They've planted stories that spread through social circles, professional networks, family systems, anywhere they could gain access and plant poison about you. They've turned your reputation into a battleground where they get to play both prosecutor and judge. The betrayal runs deeper than simple gossip. They've violated the sacred trust that exists between souls, weaponizing intimacy itself. They've taken the most vulnerable parts of yourself that you shared in confidence and turned them into evidence against your character. Your defender operates with the complete opposite energy. They honor trust, maintain confidences, and show consideration for your feelings. They understand that true intimacy requires protection of vulnerability, not exploitation of it. They've become a safe harbor where you can begin to trust again. And now, let us take a brief moment to honor the chosen among us. Here's to the ones who see the world differently, the silent guardians, the watchful souls, always awake, always vigilant. They don't fit the mold, and they wouldn't have it any other way. While others walk familiar paths, they forge their own, fighting unseen battles, illuminating the shadows. It's not for everyone, and that's okay. But if you feel it deep within, you'll know this is meant for you. No masks, no pretense, just truth. The Obsidian Inner Order is here, a place where kindred spirits gather to share wisdom, to connect, to transform. Over 450 strong, united not by conformity, but by purpose. If you're ready, you know where to find us. The link is in the description. If not, that's perfectly fine, because we're always here, watching over, making a difference in ways unseen. Here's to those who walk their own path, not for recognition, but because it's who they are. Here's to you. Thank you. Your defender sees you with the precision of an engineer, someone who can give creative energy practical expression, someone with a talent for designing solutions to common dilemmas. They recognize your ability to see how all the pieces fit together, your talent for creating systems that actually work, your gift for finding practical applications for abstract wisdom. This engineering perspective allows your defender to see the bigger picture of what's been happening to you. They can see the mechanisms of manipulation that they have been using against you. They can identify the patterns of abuse that extend far beyond your individual situation. They can recognize the spiritual technology at work in both the attack and the defense. Your defender sees that you have a very positive soul plan that extends far beyond your current circumstances. They recognize that everything you've been through has been preparing you for a mission that will help others who are going through similar experiences. They can see the wisdom you've gained, the strength you've developed, the insights you've earned through struggle. The engineering mind of your defender also allows them to see right through their agendas and plans. They can predict the patterns of behavior, anticipate the next moves in the manipulation game, and position protective strategies accordingly. They're playing chess while they are playing checkers. Something profound is happening in your connection with your defender that goes beyond ordinary friendship or even romantic partnership. This is a meeting of two spiritual forces, two evolved consciousnesses, two souls who recognize each other's divine nature and mission. Your defender embodies the energy of a high priest, someone deeply connected to wisdom, spiritual authority, and divine guidance. They've come into your life not just to protect you from them, but to help you remember your own spiritual authority as a high priestess. This is a powerful soul agreement that was arranged long before this lifetime began. The wisdom being passed between you isn't just information, it's the kind of soul-deep knowing that activates dormant memories of who you really are. Your defender is helping you refine your character, not by changing you, but by removing the false layers that have been accumulated through years of conditioning and manipulation. This is a deeply spiritual connection that serves a purpose much larger than your individual healing. Together you represent a force for transformation that can help shift the consciousness of everyone around you. They sensed this potential partnership, and that's part of why their attacks became so intense. Your defender serves as a channel of spiritual energy, facilitating your reconnection with your own divine nature. They arrived in response to your prayers for liberation from the toxic situation, appearing with their arms raised in protection, surrounded by a halo of light that marks them as a messenger of divine intervention. The spiritual commitment between you extends beyond this lifetime. You're being prepared for a mission that involves serving as channels of healing energy for others who are trapped in similar toxic situations. Your combined light has the power to exorcise darkness, not just from your own life, but from the lives of others who will be drawn to your example. The timing of this divine intervention reveals how the universe responds when one of its chosen ones is under attack. Forces are mobilized, protectors are dispatched, and circumstances are arranged to ensure that light ultimately triumphs over darkness. Your situation is proof that no attack on a chosen one goes unanswered by divine intelligence. Your defender recognizes that you've been serving as a channel of spiritual energy, even while under attack. Your ability to maintain love and generosity while being abused reveals the indestructible nature of your divine core. This recognition is part of what makes their protection so fierce and their commitment so unwavering. They tried to trap you in the role of a servant, someone who exists to meet their needs, solve their problems, and enable their lifestyle. They used financial pressure, emotional manipulation, and guilt to keep you in this diminished position, always giving, always working, always trying to prove your worth while receiving little in return. They exploited your naturally generous heart, your desire to help others, your tendency to see the best in people even when they don't deserve it. They made you feel guilty for having boundaries, selfish for asking for anything in return, and responsible for their well-being while they contributed nothing to yours. Your defender sees through this entire servant dynamic and recognizes your true nature as a teacher. They see your ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, and wisdom in ways that genuinely help others transform their lives. They recognize that your generous heart isn't a weakness to be exploited, but a strength to be honored and protected. The transformation from servant to teacher isn't just about changing your role in relationships, it's about stepping into your authentic power and purpose. Your defender is helping you understand that everything you've learned from the toxic situation has prepared you to help others who are still trapped in similar dynamics. Your defender sees you as a warrior, not in the sense of being aggressive or violent, but in the sense of having the strength, discipline, and toughness of will necessary to overcome darkness and stand for truth. They recognize that you've been through battles that would have broken lesser souls, and you've emerged stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. This warrior energy has been forged through your struggles with them. Every attack made you stronger. Every lie forced you to discover deeper truths about yourself. Every attempt to diminish you revealed more of your indestructible core. You're holding lightning now, pure spiritual power that can illuminate any darkness. Your defender recognizes that your warrior nature includes the rare combination of strength and gentleness, power and humility, fierceness and compassion. You're willing to fight for what's right, but you fight with love rather than hatred. You're willing to stand up to bullies, but you do it to protect others rather than to dominate them. The warrior path you're on involves conquering your own ego and unconscious patterns while helping others do the same. This isn't about achieving perfection. It's about choosing consciousness over unconsciousness, truth over deception, love over fear, even when it's difficult. Your defender recognizes that you're part of a much larger mission that involves serving the world through the wisdom you've gained from your experiences. This isn't just about your individual healing. It's about becoming someone who can help facilitate healing for others who are going through similar challenges. The toxic situation you endured wasn't random suffering. It was preparation for a specific calling that requires someone who understands manipulation, projection, and spiritual warfare from the inside out. The intelligence and consciousness between you and your defender creates a powerful force for transformation that extends far beyond your personal relationship. You're like two scientists working together, using advanced formulas of consciousness to solve problems that have plagued humanity for centuries. Your combined energy creates a field of healing that others can feel, even when you're not actively trying to help them. This double mission involves emanating light into the world through your combined hearts, your shared wisdom, and your unified commitment to helping others overcome the darkness in their own lives. You're being prepared to serve as examples of what's possible when people choose love over fear, truth over deception, consciousness over unconsciousness. The world is watching chosen ones like you to see if transformation is really possible, if healing is truly available, if light can actually overcome darkness. Your defender sees that you could be feeling called to help people in profound ways, possibly including teaching others what you've learned from your toxic situation. The mission may involve writing, speaking, counseling, or simply being a living example of how someone can overcome abuse and step into their full power. You're being prepared to become a lighthouse for souls who are still lost in the storm of their own toxic relationships. The timing of your awakening to this mission isn't coincidental. There's a massive shift in consciousness happening right now, and chosen ones everywhere are being activated to help humanity level up. Your specific experiences with projection, financial abuse, and spiritual warfare have given you skills that will be desperately needed as more people wake up to the manipulation in their own lives. You're not just healing yourself, you're becoming part of the solution to a global problem. The battle between these two opposing opinions of you represents something much larger than personal conflict. It's about the eternal struggle between consciousness and unconsciousness that's playing out on every level of existence right now. People everywhere are being forced to choose between truth and deception, between love and fear, between building others up and tearing them down. Your personal battle has become a microcosm of the cosmic war between light and darkness that determining the future of human consciousness. Your story isn't just your story. It's a template for how consciousness ultimately triumphs over unconsciousness, how love ultimately overcomes fear, how truth ultimately exposes deception. You represent something the world desperately needs right now, proof that transformation is possible, that healing is real, that light is more powerful than darkness. Every person who witnesses your transformation becomes a little more convinced that their own healing is possible. Their campaign against you is already failing, because truth has a way of revealing itself over time. Their own behavior is exposing them more effectively than any defense you could mount. The mask is slipping, and their true nature is becoming visible to anyone with eyes to see. People are starting to question their narratives, to see through their manipulation, to recognize the patterns of projection and blame shifting. What seemed like your defeat is actually becoming their exposure. Meanwhile, your defender's influence in your life is growing stronger every day. They're helping you rebuild everything they tried to tear down, creating something even more beautiful and powerful than what existed before. Your confidence is returning, grounded now in self-knowledge rather than external validation. Your peace of mind is being restored, based now on truth rather than illusion. Your intuition is sharper than ever because you've learned to distinguish between authentic and toxic energy. Your sense of purpose is crystallizing as you realize that everything you've been through has prepared you for a specific mission. Your ability to trust yourself is being rebuilt on a foundation of hard-won wisdom. Your capacity for love is expanding because you're learning to love yourself with the same fierce protectiveness that your defender shows you. You're discovering that you have gifts you never knew existed, the ability to spot manipulation from miles away, the wisdom to help others see through deception, the strength to stand up to bullies who prey on the innocent. You're not just surviving this experience, you're thriving because of it. You're not just healing from what happened, you're becoming someone who can help others heal. You're not just overcoming darkness, you're becoming a source of light for others who are still trapped in their own dark situations. Your transformation is so complete that people who knew you before can hardly believe you're the same person. They tried to make you small, but you're expanding into your full potential in ways that defy their wildest nightmares. They tried to isolate you, but you're connecting with your true tribe, people who recognize and appreciate your authentic nature. They tried to steal your power, but you're claiming more power than you ever knew you had. They tried to silence your voice, but you're finding your authentic voice for the first time, and it's more powerful than they ever imagined possible. This is your time, chosen one. The battle for your identity is over because you've remembered who you really are. The war between light and darkness in your life is ending because you've chosen to stand in your own light with the unwavering support of someone who sees your true nature. The confusion about your worth is clearing because you've finally seen yourself through the eyes of someone who truly sees you, and what they see is magnificent. Everything you've been through has led to this moment of clarity, this moment of power, this moment of choosing your highest timeline. Their opinion of you never mattered because it was never really about you anyway. It was about their own inner darkness that they couldn't face. Your defender's opinion matters because it reflects the truth of who you've always been and who you're destined to become. You're moving into a phase of your life where you'll receive the love you deserve, the abundance you've earned, and the recognition that's been waiting for you. The people who believed the lies about you will realize their mistake. The opportunities that were blocked will suddenly open. The resources that were stolen will be restored, multiplied. The reputation that was damaged will be rebuilt stronger than ever. The light always wins, chosen one, always. And you are that light, brighter now than ever before, impossible to dim, destined to illuminate the path for others who are still finding their way out of darkness.